What is up, y'all? It's your girl, brand new, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with some Love and Marriage Huntsville talk, honey. I will be reading some comments from the people, honey, just to see the general consensus of what the people are saying, honey, about the show. Some people think the show is boring. I don't think that the show is boring. It definitely is different this season. I think they are trying to move forward with some of their issues. But honey, y'all only gonna be able to move forward, but only so much, okay? Like, in real life, we know Tisha and Melody, honey, can't stand each other. Some of y'all feel Kimmy don't really like Mel. She jealous of her. I don't think that Kimmy is jealous of Mel. And since we on the subject, honey, let me pull up my comment section. Okay, because it's only right. I asked you all a poll on that. Do you feel like Kimmy is jealous of Mel? So let's just take a look at what the people had to say about that. Okay, so the question was, do you believe Kimmy is jealous of Mel? Yes or no? Explain why. So 63% of you said yes, while 37% of you said no. Okay, so now it's time, honey, for Miss Robinson, honey, to read these comments. So one person says, yes, very much so. I got that vibe on the episode where Mel invited them to her home for massages. Was that Mel's home? I forgot who house they was at. Okay. Every now and again, her twang of jealousy shows up. I didn't feel particularly Kimmy was jealous even during that time. I think Mel asked her to go to some type of gala around the holiday season, and Kimmy is a family person, and she didn't want to, be at no gala with a whole bunch of people she didn't know, and she didn't want to conduct no business. Y'all know Melody, honey. That Scorpio be on it, and I guess Kimmy didn't want to do it, and that's fine. I think what happened is Kimmy was stating how she felt with Tisha and calling Mel bougie, and I'm totally against them calling Mel bougie. I don't think you're bougie because you're coming up in your career. I felt like they should have been happy for her. So to me, they chose the wrong words, okay? You wrote the song and can't remember the words, honey, okay? But yeah, and we know Tisha. We know she jealous, honey, okay? But I think maybe Melody began probably acting differently than what, they were used to. And, that's kind of how I feel where Kimmy was coming from. But y'all say Kimmy is jealous. Another person says, I do think she is a little jealous, but I think she is envious of her because of her strength, because of her intelligence, and Melody's willingness to go against the grain, because they really did not think that Mel would do that. She did, and she survived. Because she has never, to me, shown Mel any empathy. I think she has empathy towards Mel. I just think that it gets erased when Kimmy does the whole back down memory lane, and when I met you, you was with Martell, and Martell is a liar, he's a cheater, he's emotionally abusive, and you should never tell any woman. And I remember Kimmy was having a conversation with Miss Wanda season 3, and I was like, no Kimmy. She was arguing with her because Miss Wanda, remember, wanted Mel and Martell to get back together and was trying to convince Mel to give Martell another chance. And when she got to arguing with Kimmy was like, I don't disagree with you. I know Mel would just take Martell right back. And no, Mel don't want to go in the burning house. I don't think she wants Martell back. I don't think that at all. All right, so let's look at what another person says. Kimmy is too much of a fan of Martell and has diminished herself to be a better speaking Tisha. Not a better speaking. What you trying to say though? Okay, what you trying to say about how I speak? Okay, you want to come to my black expo? Not expo. Expo. Okay, the person goes on to say she's still hiding behind being newly married, but all I can see is it's clear to see that Maurice is no different than Marceau. He's not a prize. Maurice is a little bit better, in my opinion, than Marceau, but he's still, I don't know, he still gives off like this slavery mentality towards his wife. He likes to put a lot on her plate. And it's because, look at their mother. Their mother popped out 8 kids. So a lot of times, I told you all, men pay attention to their mothers. And if their mother put up with a whole bunch of bullshiggity and had a lot on her plate, then the man will think that, well, my woman, should be like my mother and put up with a whole bunch of bullshiggity too. This is just what women do. That's what I get from Marceau and Maurice. Another person says, in my opinion, if your so-called friends gang up on you and have the audacity to tell you that you're starting to act bougie, that means they are definitely jealous and envious. So we know they've been dragging her behind her back while sitting back watching her make boss moves. I would like to know how Melody acting bougie affected Kimmy or Tisha's life. She didn't do anything to harm them in any way, so why would your so-called friends call you bougie? That should have been happy for whatever ish she was trying to accomplish instead of trying to tear her down. But we all know they were never her real friends. Yeah, we kind of talked about that. I felt like they, chose the wrong word, bougie. It is a bit, offensive. But like I said, I don't feel like Kimmy is jealous of Melody. Like I said, she probably doesn't like her ways. The being condescending, the being passive aggressive. She doesn't like that. And just because people, they don't like, little things about you, that doesn't mean that they are being a hater. They are talking about their experience, with you. Another person says, I don't think it's a nasty jealousy though. If anything, it's the boss lady success Mel has. Everything Mel touches seems to turn out well, and she's just very smart. Mel can make a coin out of anything, even in trauma. Yeah, but I want you all to start thinking objective. Look, there's that word. I know y'all ready to throw some sand, honey, in my face. If Miss Robinson say objective one more time, I need you all to understand that not everybody wants to be like Melody. Not everybody wants to do the millions of things that she does. And yes, she does what she does well, but it doesn't mean that she is without fault. And I think that's the disconnect that I'm having with some of you all. Y'all feel like because somebody is a real hard worker, because they do 2 or 3 things really well, they're without fault, they're so perfect, everybody is so jealous. I think that that's very dangerous to have that type of mentality. I really don't get that. I believe Martell is jealous of Melody. I believe Letitia is jealous of Melody. I could see a little bit of hatred even out of Maurice. One of y'all put that in the comments and I was like, that's exactly what I was getting. I get more hate from Maurice than from Kimmy. What do you all think of that? And one of y'all put it in the comments. Hopefully I run across that comment. But yeah, I really noticed it at the reunion. I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? Why do it look like all these people is against her? What just happened? Like, come on now. It looked like a bit too much. It did. At that reunion, just seemed like everybody was against, her. We had Destiny, you have Tisha, and Tisha Tisha will never get over the fact that Mel threw in her face that her man was allegedly cheating on her. Like I told y'all, Tisha died when Melody said that. And she could, play all nice and cordial all she wants to, but she will never see it for Mel. Okay? Because she want Mel to be the only bitch up in the crew that's been cheated on. You're the only bitch in the crew, Mel, that been cheated on by that man. And he had a side chick. He had a whole baby on you. Martho, he would never do such a thing. Okay? It ain't that bad that he didn't take me to Africa. It ain't that bad that he don't take me out on date nights. It ain't that bad that he didn't move Gino in my office. It really ain't that big of a deal. I can forgive that. And I'll even forgive Martho for the booty pics that he liked. Okay, and he was messaging the girl. That's okay though. That's okay. He was just being a man. That's how Tisha reconciles things. Shout out to Miss Wanda. That's how she reconciles things in her head, honey, about Marceau. Okay, another person says the Scott women may have a little envy because of Mel's strength to stand up to those dogs. I keep hearing about Mel's strength. Mel is a strong woman, but an even stronger woman wouldn't have had all them kids by hook headed. Okay, they would have got their ass up and left. Okay. And I'm not trying to put her down for that, you guys, but y'all keep acting like she's this damn superhero. And I get it. Melody is a strong woman, but I know some bitches that then walked away and they ain't have all these damn kids. Okay, they ain't keep giving this nigga all these chances. Okay, so, we have to learn, just how to look at things from an objective point of view. You could be strong, but, we all have things we still can work on. And Funky Dineva, he actually made this video, and it was dead on. I think it was one of his most recent videos. And all I can say is the point he was making is you could be so good at certain things, right? You could do those things at 100%, but for every good thing that you do at 100%, there are some other things that you don't do good at all with, right? There are some things you suck at. And that just goes to show you, life is all about checks and balances. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to be good at things. So yes, Melody is strong-willed. She's hardworking. But like I told y'all, she has to work on being passive-aggressive. She has to work on not being condescending, speaking down to the girls as if she is above, having any type of confrontation. Because like I told y'all, she does have the tendency to just move on. And it's not healthy. I feel like she'll end up doing that to the wrong people maybe in the future. Maybe some of these people deserve some of that because, honey, they was moving funny like that Destiny. I told y'all, I tried to see it for Destiny. I tried to defend Destiny. Y'all know I did. But once I got to seeing how she was moving, hanging with Martell and throwing Martell in Melody's face and your ex on the other line and let me talk to him and you running telling him all of Melody's business, stuff like that. It's not cute. Okay, Stormy and her mammy, that situation, it's not cute. I can't objectively defend y'all, if y'all moving like that, honey, okay? Okay, so another person says, I'm not sure what to call it. Kimmy may not be jealous, but she feels a way towards Melody. I can recall when Kimmy was at Melody's 7th Avenue launch on the show, and the way she looked at Melody was so stank. Also, recently, when Melody called Kimmy to invite her to the massage, Kimmy was rolling her eyes, trying to rush her off the phone. That's because she was with Tisha, you guys. And Kimmy was uncomfortable because she's like, I'm sitting here talking to Tisha. I know Tisha and Mel don't like each other. She didn't want no problems. Okay, that's what that was. Y'all have to, some of y'all I'm going to have to pray for, honey. Okay, because y'all just every little thing with Melody, you're defending it, and yeah, but Kimmy rolled her eyes. Is it against the law to roll your eyes? You're a bit irritated. You got somebody on the phone that don't get along with who you talking to, and I think Kimmy is sick of being in the middle. She get a little irritated, frustrated. She's human. I didn't feel like that was anything funny. My issue I had with Kimmy was Kimmy telling Tisha what Kiki and Melody talked about at Melody's party. Because like I told y'all, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If Destiny can be over there talking to Tisha and gossiping about Melody behind her back, why can't Kiki and Melody gossip behind Tisha back? I mean, I'm just saying. Okay? That's what I had an issue with as it pertains to Kimmy. Shout out to It's Michelle. Okay, you've been a subscriber, honey, for a while now, and I really like you. I love what she said, you guys, because I second that emotion. It's Michelle. She says, I don't think she's jealous of her. I find her to be proud of Mel. Okay. Now, that husband of hers doesn't like Mel, and it's obvious in the way he references her as a scorned woman and how he wanted to invite Martell over Mel to Jaden's housewarming. That's a great point. That is a great point, and that's what I've been trying to tell y'all. I think it's more like Maurice. And don't get me wrong, Kimmy is his wife, and I'm sure she's like, yeah, kind of entertaining some of the stuff he's saying. But I think that Kimmy is very neutral. She is. When it comes to the cast, I think she gets frustrated with people. She's human. I'm sure it's a lot of stuff that goes on that we don't see, that we don't know about, and she becomes irritated with Carlos King, though. He said it best. Everybody, for the most part, likes Kimmy. There's a lot of people, y'all know, they don't like Tisha, because she doesn't own her bullshiggity. She plays the victim. And that's a very exhausting, person, right? Melody. I like Melody. I think that Melody is a go-getter. But I think my issue with Melody, y'all could go back to the counseling session that she had with Dr. Francis, and he got to talking to her about her father, and then, her goals, and, how all of that, correlates, with each other, honey. And so I really felt like that was definitely a prominent, scene. Like, it really broke down who Melody was. And what I want you all to know is Melody isn't perfect because she's so ambitious. Two things can be true at one time. Look at Kandi Burruss. Kandi Burruss is very ambitious, and we all know Kandi is not perfect, okay? And we all drag Kandi, okay? We still have a little love for Kandi, okay? I told y'all I love Kandi's business acumen, but some of her decisions as a person I question, okay? And that's just that. So, we're going to have to agree to disagree. So another person says, I don't believe Kimmy is jealous of Mel. Both Mel and Kimmy are educated, confident, beautiful, strong, intelligent women. Kimmy stands strong on being retired as a registered nurse and a realtor. Now, is she retired, you guys? I thought she was still acting as a nurse. Y'all put that in the comments. I'm sure Kimmy at any time can go back to being a registered nurse. Mel stands strong on her several businesses, 7th Avenue Production Company, Sugar Mama Products. Respectfully, they are in their own lane. Exactly. Mel has a lot going on, but y'all have to stop thinking everybody wants that life. Or just because Mel is very ambitious, that means she's a nice person. She's a sweetheart all the time. It's not true. You can have a lot of ambition about yourself and still, be walking around saying and doing little messed up things, okay? I mean, and that could be true for all of us, right? Myself included, so nobody's perfect. Okay, so another person says she is jealous of Mel, but you didn't say why, honey. Like I said, guys, I don't think that Kimmy is jealous of Mel. Another person says she calls Mel bougie. That was old, you guys. That was some seasons ago. Okay, and Kimmy and Melody, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, they didn't have like no big fallout like her and Tisha, right? They didn't never say like really below the belt things to each other, right? I told y'all, that's how I know Tisha has a dark soul, because she said all those below the belt things to Melody about how Martell cheated on her, had a baby on her. If you were ever friends with anybody, you don't speak to them like that. You don't weaponize their vulnerabilities. That is what the devil does. That is so evil. And that's how I will always stand by. I feel like Tisha, is the one with the dark soul, and she's the one that really hates Melody. I think Kimmy is indifferent. What do y'all think? So another person says Kimmy and Tisha been sitting around talking about Mel behind her back since the show started. Kimmy calling Mel bougie in this season 1 and getting smart because Mel invited them to get a massage. All 4 Scots knew Martell was cheating, and they all sat back and egged Martell on and told Mel to stay. They all played dumb and continued to tell her to stay because he was a good guy and a good man. I think that's another thing Kimmy messed up on. She shouldn't have been calling Martell a good man. A good man don't do all that cheating and lying on his wife and have an outside baby. Okay, I'm just saying. All right, so let's go to the next person. I don't think it has much to do with her being jealous. I just don't think they necessarily vibe with each other. I do think they both understand that they are on set to do a job, and so a level of cordialness towards each other, but I don't see them as being friends, but they are co-workers who can work well with each other. Okay. And I think you guys, because of how many comments it is, we gonna have to do another video. Okay, I know that's very ghetto of Miss Robinson, but I was gonna try to read some comments about the show, but this is kind of spilling over, and there's actually something else I want to address. So I'm gonna read some more comments, honey, and I'm gonna get to what I want to address. Okay, so another person says she is jealous in a passive, nonchalant manner. Another person says, I don't think she's jealous, but I do believe she's hated on Mel, if for no other reason than to stay in good with the Scots' good graces. Okay, so you're saying she's a sister-in-law. And like I said, I kind of agree. Not so much that she hates on Mel. I'm talking about Kimmy, but she be doing too much running back to Tisha. Child, who gave Kimmy the football, honey? Okay. Kimmy said, touchdown, honey. I'm going to run back to these Scots, my family, honey. And I don't like that part of Kimmy. The person goes on to say, plus, Mel was the center of attention with the husbands, and no woman likes their man focusing on any woman for any reason. Interesting. Another person says, Kimmy has always been jealous of Mel. In regards to Mel, she's always thrown rocks and hid her hands. Ooh, child, not throwing the rocks and hiding her hands. She's jealous of the internal spiritual strength Mel possesses. See, people need to take seriously Mel's protection provided by God. She's on God's anointed, and God said, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. God don't play about his children. I know that's right, honey. God said, go, okay? If she would have put that in there, honey, it would have been, look, signed, sealed, delivered, okay? Now the person says, why do male fans always think someone is jealous of her? They are all successful in their own way. This type of thinking is so weird to me. What is it that she does that makes people think someone is jealous? It sounds crazy to me. I'm really happy you left this comment. I am very happy that you left this comment because, like I said, I don't think everybody is jealous of Mel like that. I don't. Especially not Kimmy. Now, some of the niggas on the show, yeah, the way that they act, okay? So let me read the comments, honey, because we had like 9 replies, honey, to these comments. So one person says, I think because a lot of them have shown jealous traits towards her, and Kimmy, to me, in the earlier seasons, showed me that she really didn't like Mel. But I don't really think Kimmy is jealous, but I do think she is envious of her. Okay, and I notice y'all keep holding on to the earlier seasons, and I know that we do that with Tisha, but we've kind of seen Tisha's pattern of behavior towards Melody, and it really hasn't changed. It's always been nasty. Now, we have to admit, we have seen a difference in Kimmy's behavior towards Melody. It hasn't really been hateful. She may have disagreed, with Melody, right? But I don't feel like it's been like hateful. Not like Tisha, right? Y'all know if Kimmy ever moved like Tisha, I would call it out. You sure would, brand new. You sure would call Kimmy to the carpet. Okay, so another person says to that person, I disagree with that. I just don't see where anyone is jealous of Melody. These are grown women, and just because they don't always agree doesn't mean they are jealous. We don't really know the ins and outs of their relationship, only what we see on TV, and most of it is for entertainment purposes. I believe it's her obsessive fans that just don't want people holding Mel accountable because they have trauma bonded with her. It is so funny. It is so funny. This person is genius. This is why you genius, because this is what I wanted to talk to y'all about. Because I've seen other YouTubers say that that's how Mel got a lot of her fans, because a lot of you all have trauma bonded with her. You've been cheated on. And I even had somebody in my comments, this was probably some of my other videos, not nothing recent, where they were just like, yeah, you must have been cheated on too. You must be bitter and angry. And no, Miss Robinson ain't bitter and angry. I am nothing like Melody. I tell y'all that. I'm too damn evil to be like Melody. Okay? It wouldn't have been all that damn cheating and I'm taking your ass back, having these babies. Y'all know Miss Robinson would have did a old Home Alone on that fool, okay? It would have been, I would have had that Crisco grease on that floor. That fool would have been sliding around, honey. He wouldn't have known what hit him, okay? Y'all know Miss Robinson ain't for all of that. So me and Melody, honey, we're just very different. I wouldn't have been able to keep my composure like Miss Melody, honey, okay? But yeah, do y'all think that that's what that is? That's just very interesting, that people feel like that, some of you all have trauma bonded with Melody because she is, I was going to say the great white hope, but the great black hope in this case. She's like Yoshiro. She represents getting cheated on and dogged and being left with kids. Well, he didn't leave her, but you know what I'm saying. She got 4 kids and you're probably in a similar situation. And I don't want to believe that all women are like that, but I do feel like that a lot of that is true though. But I don't think that's the case with everybody. I think some people genuinely, like and respect Melody. But yeah, I would have to say, you guys, like, why y'all can't be objective? Why y'all don't see certain stuff? Okay, like, y'all don't see nothing wrong with anything she does that, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying. And you know what? Just for shits and giggles, put in the comments something Melody has did on the show that you don't like. Put it in the comments. That way y'all can prove me wrong. See if you could come up with something that Melody did on Love and Marriage Huntsville. It don't matter what season it was, that you didn't like, that you didn't feel was cool. That way I know, okay, they may have a little objectivity going on with them, right? All right, so I want to get some more comments, right, on some of the people that may feel like some of y'all have trauma bonded with Melody, right? And I'm being honest, guys, when I first heard this, and this was maybe a couple of years ago, I was starting to hear this. I didn't want to believe it, but I do think some of it is true. Like, I do. So let's just get into what some of the people are saying. So one person says, some of the fans of Love and Marriage Huntsville are absolutely delusional, especially Melody's fans. You could say 20 good things about her, but if you call her out for anything, you will get attacked. It's absolutely insane. It's true. I did a whole video on it, you guys. Just search my playlist. Another person says, I've noticed that since I don't blindly worship Mel as if she has done no wrong, her fans become extremely upset. Mel has flaws and strengths just like all the other women on Love and Marriage. I see all of them for who they are, the good and the bad, and I'm also never judging but only commenting on the actions I see from her, whether it concerns Martell, the ladies, or the other cast on the show. Another person says, what is the issue in addressing the wrongdoings of Mel? Trying to bring someone's mistress on the show when have been a victim of a mistress herself is absolutely ridiculous. So I guess they're talking about that whole Tisha situation. Involving someone's cousin in an attempt to undermine someone's character is crazy. All of these trauma bonding fans are out of this world. So I think some of y'all feel like, oh, I like Kiki because I hate Tisha. It's not so much I hate Tisha. I just find Tisha exhausting. Tisha doesn't admit to stuff. Tisha acts like she's too good to ever be cheated on or to be wrong by her man, right? When he disrespects her all the time, left and right on the show. I mean, I think that's like my issue with Tisha, right? So let me get back into the comments. So, another person says, Tisha knew about Ariane the whole time. Ariane even said Melody has no friends on the show, and they knew, and they stayed at her home and drove her car, networking, etc. And yes, he has the license but no connections and knows how to handle contacts. I guess, honey, they talking about that damn hell. Another person says when Mel found out they were already at odds, they're talking about, I guess, Mel and Tisha's relationship. But Mel did cut her off, though, although it was not right. How is it not right? I wouldn't, honey, I can't understand all of this, so I'm not even going to go into it. But they were saying that Mel was not right for cutting off Tisha. That was her friend, and she should ride Honey in the Sunset with her. Ain't nobody gonna ride with you, and you know that they man is cheating on them, and you ain't saying nothing. Okay. Another person says, we can show empathy for Mel being with a cheater like Martell, but that aside, she is not innocent. Her fans need to take the blinders off, and we're definitely leaving that strong black woman nonsense in the past. Another person says, and just because you support someone's strength in overcoming a situation doesn't mean you can't nor you shouldn't call them out when they are behaving badly. That is the problem with the fans these days. They will support and turn blind eyes away from their fave when they act like trash. Another person says, to be honest, Mel is doing what millions have did before her. Get up, dust yourself off, and get back in line. Yes, she did it on TV, but that was her choice. She uttered the now famous words that opened that can of worms. Was there any discussion about cheating before she brought it up? When it happened to me, it felt like a million people knew. So it doesn't matter whether it happened on national TV or in your little cul-de-sac. It hurts, but you have to move on. And if he or she hurt you, they didn't deserve you. Okay. Another person says people want to blindly support and agree with and praise and promote people and never call them on their shit, or you're contradicting yourself. Another person says, look here, Melody nor anyone else is beyond reproach. We all support Melody on the issues that led to the demise of her marriage, but Melody is not innocent. Her fans, just like the person that left a comment, are the ones causing all the damage. She has to keep up this image of still being elevated, strong, happy, healed, that she hasn't properly been able to grieve. It's clear she's still hurting and going through things, and they are putting her on this pedestal, making her the leader of all women who have been wronged and hurt by a man in a relationship. That is just dead wrong. Not agreeing with Melody on everything does not mean that she doesn't have our support. Also, we all need to keep in mind, we don't know these people. Relax. That's true. Another person says, trauma bonding is something else that I don't subscribe to because it will make you miss key pieces of things that are flawed in people. For example, I did not agree with Melody when she told her children the reason she's not with Martell anymore is because he likes to go around and make babies with other women. That's what Tank repeated to Martell in a recorded conversation. That is not cool to me because you can cause more emotional trauma to your children by telling them things they're not ready to handle at such a young age. Oh, how do y'all feel about that? Weigh in on that. And to be honest with you guys, I feel like their kids, they already know what type of dad they got. Okay? They already know. And what was he doing recording the conversation anyways? Like he goes out of his way, Martell, to make Mel look bad. And it's like, if you really had anything, sir, you wouldn't have to go out of your damn way. Okay? So the person goes on to say, the strong black woman trope is the cancer that should have been neutralized moons ago because it's a dangerous, non-existing facade. Ooh, I'm with that. I'm sick of being called that. I had some man tell me that at my other job, honey. You such a strong woman. And when men say that, they say that, you know, they say it subconsciously, and then they end up putting more and more things on your plate, right? Because they feel like you can handle it, and they seen their strong mother handle and do everything, right? Another person says, the male stands go crazy over their leader. Very intense parasocial soul ties are there. Oh, not soul ties, not parasocial, honey. Look, where my ink pen at so I can write some of this down. Another person says, listen, at the end of the day, Mel has issues. She's passive aggressive. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I can't believe somebody said that. Okay, who said that? The person goes on to say she's not compromising. She has a smart mouth, and none of that has to do with Martell cheating. She's not perfect, and her fans need to get a grip, honey. Not get a grip. Okay. Another person says, I swear you would think Mel is Beyonce or Nicki, the way her stands go up for her. They got so rude and disrespectful and tried to shun a person because we see her character flaws. It's crazy at this point. Another person says, in my opinion, the show is toxic, and it seems as if a large portion of its following have toxic traits as well. Oh, she talking about y'all, honey. Y'all got toxic traits. They can't allow for independent observations and fall heavily into groupthink. Oh, child. Look, let me get my pen out. These are some good points. Seeing comments from people that watch this show makes the show less enjoyable. Ooh, child, they is getting y'all together. Another person says Mel's fan base is absolutely delusional. Not absolutely. Another person says Mel's mob gang fan base is exhausting. and I am sick of every last one of them. Well, look, alrighty then. Okay, she says she's sick of all of y'all. But, just to wrap up the comments, you guys, I understand where everybody is coming from. And I get it. I really do. Like I said, just with anybody you like, you have to be objective. You have to, be honest. How would you respond if you was in that person's shoes? How would you look at this? How would you look at that? But yeah, I do feel like some of the fans have trauma bonded with her. I do. I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to believe that at first, but I do believe that is the case with some people. And some people just simply like Mel. She is likable. She is beautiful. She is ambitious. She is focused. She is dedicated and driven. And she seems approachable and, friendly online. So like I told y'all, she does have a certain charisma about herself that some of the other people on the cast, they don't have. So, it is what it is at the end of the day, honey. We're going to have to agree to disagree, okay? All right, you guys, that's all I have to say about that, honey. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this here video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.